Hey, before we get started, it would mean the world to me if you would just take a second to scroll down and click the subscribe button. All right, so let's talk about it. I've got a couple things that I wanted to touch on today, try to make this video a little shorter. So obviously we've got the 3-game suspension that the Big Ten just laid down on Jim Harbaugh. So if you don't know much about this at this point, I'll cover it a little bit, but it's going to be ever developing. But the latest news on the Michigan scandal is Jim Harbaugh is suspended for the Penn State game, the Maryland game, and the Ohio State game. He is allowed to coach during the week, but is not allowed to be on the field or at the stadium on game days. A lot of folks out there are frustrated, feeling like this isn't enough. A lot of Michigan fans out there still believe there isn't enough evidence to warrant any type of punishment. So it's kind of up in the air. I certainly believe this is a good start as based on what we know. I also believe that the NCAA is going to do a whole lot more once they kind of, as we all know, their timeline's a little different, hence why the Big Ten stepped in and why all the member schools were so adamant about an in-season punishment for something we know has been going on this season and that there's proof for having gone on for the last 2 years. So that's huge. So I wanted to touch on that. Do I think it's enough? Yeah, I think it's good for now. I think there needs to be more, and I think there will be more. So that's number one. Number two, I wanted to respond to some of the hate comments that I got in from the last video. So for all you Michigan fans out there that decided to, sprinkle your thoughts in my comment section, I appreciate it, but it shows me that you are in fact embarrassed for your school, for your program. So you can call me what you want. I heard fluff boy, I heard pretty boy. I was told to go fuck myself. I was told to come up to Michigan and say it to their face, like all that stuff. It's all cool. I mean, we know that everyone's a keyboard warrior, but it's all in good fun, right? But I could tell that I struck to your heart and that you are in fact embarrassed, even if you won't say it. So there you go. You should be. You cheated. You were caught, and there's more coming. On to the game. Last thing I wanted to cover this morning before I hit the gym. Michigan, Penn State. Okay, so I've been mulling this one over, trying to pay attention to how, Michigan played against Purdue, Michigan State, even though Connor Stallions was on the sideline ahead of time. So, I don't even count that 49-0 versus MSU. I don't, because you had Connor Stallions on the sideline of a game MSU was playing a week or two prior. So I don't believe any of that. Now, your performance against Purdue is a little telling. It's a little telling because it's not what we've become accustomed to seeing from the Michigan Wolverines. For instance, didn't run the ball very well. Blake Corum had 4 touchdowns, but he averaged less than 2 yards a carry. J.J. McCarthy didn't throw a single touchdown pass. A lot of yards, in between the 20s. And Roman Wilson was almost the entire passing offense. So that's a little sus, for sure, at least on the offensive side of things. I have no doubt that Michigan's defense is absolutely one of the best 3 to 5 defenses in the country. I believe that. But that offense and how good J.J. McCarthy truly is going to be put to the test today. It's going to be put to the test today because Penn State's defense is legit. I just don't know if Penn State can score enough points on Michigan's defense. So I've been going back and forth. I wanted to call for the upset. Then we got the news about Jim, and it still didn't add too much to my confidence that Penn State can win. I'm just being honest with you guys. Just being honest, I don't think Penn State wins the game today. I think Michigan pulls it out, but I don't think they're going to cover the spread. We're certainly not going to see a 2 or 3 score margin of victory. It's not going to be over, after the third quarter like every other team Michigan is going to play or has played. It's going to go all the way through the fourth quarter. And we're going to see, is this Michigan offense truly capable of scoring on a good defense without the plays ahead of time? We're going to see if Michigan's run offense is legit. We're going to see if JJ can stay mistake-free. We're going to see if Roman Wilson is truly a wide receiver 1 or 2, or if it's just a product of knowing which way the defense is going, as well as shitty competition, let's be real. So we'll find those things out. We're going to find out if Penn State's Drew Aller just had his worst game of his career against the Buckeyes, which people tend to do. And we're going to find out if James Franklin has the balls to throw the ball deep on Michigan's secondary, which is very good. So, mulling it over, my score prediction, I think Michigan pulls it out. I think it's a late game, meaning it's all 4 quarters, down to the wire, and I think Michigan pulls it out and wins 24-21. 3 points. Don't think they cover the spread. I think it's much closer. I think the game flow, the way the Michigan offense looks, is going to be incredibly telling as to whether or not having signs has affected their efficiency. What's also going to be telling is if Jim Harbaugh being on or off the sidelines, how many points is it worth? I don't think it matters that much during the non-conference, FCS opponents that they've played. I don't think that matters as much to have Jim on the sideline. But when you're playing top 10 Penn State and then eventually top 10 Ohio State, that's going to be huge. And there's a lot of folks that, a lot of stuff that I've read about Michigan wanting to lawyer up, get a temporary restraining order to try and block the Big Ten suspension. For this game, it probably won't matter, but will they have it in time against Ohio State? I believe it. Surprisingly enough, though, you would think that the OC and the DC would be suspended too. Maybe they will be. Maybe they're starting with Jim and giving him 3 games and then plan on taking Jesse Minter and Shamar, more off the field as well. Who knows? That would be huge. That is the kind of punishment that I think is going to really affect them as a team overall. Not having Jim Harbaugh is going to be huge in the top 10 matchups. When either sideline's going nuts because momentum has changed in the game and Jim is that kind of tree in the storm. When everything is going on around you, Jim is able to, keep things founded and moving in the right direction. So I think it's going to have a big effect on them this weekend, to the tune of making it close. It would certainly affect them in the Ohio State-Michigan game. Do I think he coaches? I'm 50-50 on that. I wasn't expecting a suspension before today's game. He may still end up on the sidelines. Who knows? But that's what I wanted to cover today. Appreciate you sticking around for the whole video. As always, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell your friends about it. Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think? You got Michigan, you got Penn State. What do you think the margin of victory is? Was this enough of a punishment? Is there more to come? And then, you Michigan fans, don't stop. Stay in the comment section. Leave your emotions in the comment section. Trust me, I appreciate them. I will respond 100%. But love you guys. Appreciate you. Have a great Saturday. OHIO. We'll talk to you soon.